This is Bold TV.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to another episode of Bold TV. Beautiful, outstanding ladies with disabilities, where we talk about disabilities and issues related to disabilities. This program comes to us live every Saturday by 10:30 a.m. and is being powered by Bold Heart Initiative. Today is another interesting Saturday where we discuss on lifestyle. I know today's lifestyle, if someone is out there is like surprised, what will they discuss today? And it's very interesting, and that's you need to even guess it. Well, I'll just help us out. It's heels and flats. That imagine women with disabilities with heels or flat, which of the above? But if I go deeply, I would like the ladies in the house to introduce themselves by way of their names, location, occupation, and type of disability. I'm Osaki Teresa George. I reside in Port Harcourt, River State, work with Fair Care Foundation, member of Bold Hearts Initiative, polio warrior, and I also mentor and coach women with disabilities. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you very much, Osaki. My name is Oluwatomi Senyadeyefa. I reside in Abeokuta, Ogun State. I'm a broadcast journalist, a gender and disability rights advocate. I am a visually impaired person. Feels good to be here again.
Good morning, beautiful ladies out there. My name is Afiong Etim. I am a medical lab scientist. I reside in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury, and I'm a member of Bold Hearts Initiative.
Good morning. My name is Preki Andresian. I'm based in Port Harcourt in River State. I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury, so I identify as a woman with disability. I'm a member of Bold Heart Initiative and the founding ED of Fair Care Foundation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Freki. So now we've all introduced ourselves. Back to our topic. Heels or flats with women with disabilities, as in shoes. What do we wear under? So I used to have a friend. To her, shoes doesn't make sense. She doesn't wear shoes, as in because she's on wheelchair. So she's like, what we should do with shoes. To her, it has no attachment, as in whether beauty or safety or protection, nothing. So as long as she's not walking on her feet, she does not need shoes. So I like the ladies in the house. Let us know why is it necessary or important or the purpose for one to wear shoes or sandals, whatever you call it, footwear on your feet. So I like Afyong to start with that.
Once upon a time, who should answer now? They used to do stories. Once upon a time, I was like your friend. I did not think shoe was necessary because my feet were not touching the ground. So what are we wearing shoes for? But as I realized that I was still a babe, wheelchair or not, I had to step up my game. I had to go and look for shoe and wear. I used to wear only socks. Had a lot of accidents. I still have scars on my toes to, as a testimony to that, a testament to that time. But now, I realized that, it's not just about, regardless of your disability, how you put yourself together is also a coping strategy from the strand of your hair, from your hair, your crown to the soles of your feet. it matters. So shoes are a very important part of the total package.
Thank
Osaki, you're muted.
Okay, that same question, it will go around all of us. Tommy, please answer the same question. What's shoe relevant to you? Is it for beauty or just to wear, or you think you need it? I think you want something, you have a positive answer anyway. So Tommy, please give us your own.
All right. Well, I'm a visually impaired person, and so shoes are a very important part of my dressing, especially if I'm going to be walking around. As a matter of fact, even in my house, within my home, I have specific kind of shoes that I wear within and around the house. So for me, wearing shoes gives me some kind of protection. It gives protection. I mean, I do not want to start going somewhere and then I have blisters all over my feet, or as a visually impaired person, you are prone to step into muddy waters, especially now that it's even in the raining season. Even the person guiding you, it wasn't like it's intentional, but because obviously you cannot see it for yourself, and so you may not be able to determine the height you have to jump or walk or something, and so you need shoes to protect yourself. And for me, I mean, I easily have cold feet, so wearing shoes around the house, especially in a house where I have tiles and all of that, so it's also very important for me. Otherwise, before you know it, all my feet is very cold and I can feel the cold even in my body. So that for me, protection is the key. Then beauty, I mean, to complement my dressing, I do not want to wear a fine dress after powdering my face, and then I step into a place and they're looking like, after all this you're dressing, where is the last thing that would add fire to the whole thing? It has to be your shoes, because I mean, it also has a way, when we walk, our legs, our feet make sound, and so people want to see who is coming. When they look at your face, they look at you down, and the last place they notice that probably will linger on in their mind is your feet, because that's the last thing they probably saw after looking at you from top to down. So for me, the shoe helps to complete my dressing, helps to protect me from harm, diseases and all of that, injury and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tommy. So, Freaky, what does shoe mean to you? Though at least I know you, but I see your collection of shoes. So just help us. What does shoe mean to you?
Indeed.
Shana, only me. I'll be freaking out again.
She's frozen.
I think all of well, let me just continue till when she is back. For me, shoes.
They don't have network, so okay. I have to switch network.
Okay.
That's why the talk has to be kind of fast. People will be loved that soon. All right. So I was saying that for me, it never ever crossed my mind that not wearing shoes was an option. I didn't think it was an option at all. For me, rather, what was the problem was what was practical to wear on the wheelchair, but the consideration of you're in a wheelchair, so shoe it did not come up at all. So rather the practicality of shoe that came up strongly, because Avia will know me and heels were friends. We like high heel. Allow me. So where are you? So fine, that was it. But now, not speaking about myself now, I do understand that shoes might be not a thing of aesthetics for somebody that with a disability. For some persons, have actually engaged and they desire to but because of the peculiarity of their disability, they are actually not able to wear shoes. So I've seen that a lot. So some people have where their limbs are, contorted in a way that it will not be practical to put them in any shoes. I've seen that. So everybody's talking about we wear. So I just want it before somebody will now go and do the one that will now become a medical emergency. So yeah. So, and I've also seen people who, because of still peculiarities of disabilities, the feet are really swollen that wearing shoes will cause more harm than good. So I've seen that as well. I actually have a friend who doesn't bother because her legs are really swollen. She uses a chair. So coming back to me, so that's the general perspective. But for me, shoe is just part of what's happening. I didn't ever consider that it wasn't part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frankie. Okay, for me, shoes are okay. I think they are part of my dressing and beauty and protection. But the issue I have is that my feet are not equal. So it's difficult. My right leg is bigger than my left leg. So I need to walk around the market or wherever to get a shoe. So that's a serious problem when it comes to shoe. That's why I don't have it many. Just have one. Till that one gets spoiled, get another one. That's how it is for me. Okay. So the next question is, as a woman with disabilities, tell me, as a woman with disabilities, what are the most common footwear, heels or flats? Which one do you think we will really want to wear as a woman with disabilities? Is Tommy there, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Please go on with that question.
All right, thank you very much. Like Frankie mentioned in our submission earlier, where she talked about practicability or integrity, of course, someone like me who is a visually impaired person, just with my cane, I do flats. When I'm wearing sandals, it's even on my wedding, it was flats. They were encouraging me, let there be a little heel on this thing. I said, number one, I'm a little bit taller than my husband. I should not come and go and embarrass the guy. And then a lot of people will be dragging me on that day. A lot of people will want to provide help. A lot of people will want to hug me. And so I look at the practicability and I said, please just give me my flat. Sandals, whether shoes, whether drivers, trainers, canvas, it has to be flat all the way. I have a friend who is also a visually impaired person. She cannot wear flat for all the money in the world. She cannot even wear it with that's a human guide now. Whether she does it efficiently, how she does it, I don't know. And I don't do heels. It's flat for me all the way. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Tommy. Me, I have a friend. She's on wheelchair, but every time you see her, she's on heels. And I say, babe, how do you enjoy this? You say that's her own beauty. You can never see her on flat. Never, never, never. All her shoes are on heels, like boots. Like I say, babe, I give her thumbs up because she's enjoying it because that's her own kind of fashion. Afyong, how about you? Heels or flats? What do you think?
Once upon a time, we used to wear heels, but for me, heels were like a necessary evil. Before disability, by wear heels, I make sure I have a pair of slippers or flat shoes to change into later because I'm not planning to come and stress myself. But post disability, like I said, I didn't start out with shoes, but when I eventually started wearing, I had to go for flats because sometimes if you don't have most of my wheelchairs have separate pedals foot pedal. So if I wear heels, there's a possibility of it getting hooked or, slipping off the pedal, and then I might injure myself. So, but for flats, it's easier for me to control. So for me, flat shoes all the way. That's what I wear for any occasion, wherever.
All right, thank you very much. For me, all through flats. Nothing takes me to heels. When I was a little bit younger, I think I tried a little bit of heels and it was okay. But I get older and I found out that I started having joint pains. So I told myself, never again, all flat if I must really wear a footwear.
We have a comment here. Once the flyer was posted on Facebook, we have a comment from a member of the Bold Hearts community, and she says her name is Sissy Magohi from Blind Girl Magic USA, and she says, these days it's definitely flats for me. Being blind requires a lot of walking, and those heels aren't made for all of that. LOL. I will break them out on special occasions though. So obviously for her, it's flats all the way. She and Tomisin seem to have the same, taste in shoe. You cannot come and be doing plenty walking and fall down. All right. Thank you, Stacey.
All right. Thank you very much, Afyon. Frankie, you're back, I guess.
Okay, so thank you. So with respect to heels or flats, the heels or flats question, honestly, I've seen women with disabilities wear any type of both heel or flat. I've seen them wear even mid-flat wedges. I've seen them wear all. But from engaging with a lot of women with disabilities, I've noticed that for practicality, I noticed that a lot of people go for flats. Uneven legs, where one leg is longer than the other leg. So, by default, the leg that had the shorter limb had higher shoes, higher platforms than the other one. So, to each their own. But what I would say is, I don't know if we're advising on footwear already, because I also had the experimentation process. Like I said, while walking, you can't catch me with flats. I don't even understand flats till now. I don't understand how people walk with flats as persons without disabilities who want to wear shoes and want to dress up and then they wear flats. I still don't get it. Because I feel that for the club you should wear you should have small heel and things like that. So I had an experimentation time, hey God, with shoes. I still prefer high heel shoes till tomorrow, but practically on top of this wheelchair for now is the flat one that is more practical. So I had to get creative with getting pointed fronts. It's been a whole experiment. If you want more tips, ask me for tips in a bit. I will give you tips.
All right, thank you very much, Frankie. So still on shoes, we are still talking about shoes and women with disabilities. But the next question is on maintenance. Yes, we wear these shoes. If you don't maintain these shoes, they'll go bad and you never enjoy the beauty. I would like the ladies in the house to just explain how did they maintain these shoes. Because I know I have a friend, he's on wheelchair, but I used to tell him that, guy, your shoes hardly go bad because they don't touch the feet, and that means you hardly buy shoes. I say no, that is always buying shoes. I say why? I say that one, I think the shoe somehow, if you're entering a vehicle, the front face, the pointed area of the shoes scratches a part of his car or something. So that part is always bad. So now for him not to keep his shoes longer than expected, he has to be careful whenever entering the car. And most people like us that have polio, you cannot control your legs. So your legs are out of control except you use your hands. So for him now, you know that whenever you're entering a vehicle or somewhere, use your hands to control your legs so that your shoes and your leg will be at the proper place. If not, they'll just be scattered everywhere, and before you know, your shoes start having problems. And for someone like me, if I'm walking, I scrub my leg on the floor. So it's difficult. That's why heel is even out of the line, because I will move and I drag my leg. So with that, my shoes get bad, either one leg before the other. So the shoe will be okay, but my left shoe is already bad. So you see that kind of pattern. So I now looked at, okay, when I'm walking, I need to be slower and maybe somehow raise my left leg that is weaker so that I stop dragging my feet and my shoe gets bad like that. So all of that are like kind of trying to maintain the footwears. So I'd like the ladies in there to explain how they maintain their own, because it's a serious issue with someone when it comes to shoes. Breaking back to you, how do you manage and maintain your own shoes?
Okay, so I won't call it maintenance, I'll just call it tips, yeah? So for persons with disabilities, one of the things you want to have as a priority for your footwear, whether it is heels or whether it is flats, is the level of comfort. So you do not want your shoes to be too tight. You don't want them to also be too loose, because if they are too tight, you're going to start developing corns and those bumps, at that joint of your toe and your little your little toe. If the shoes are too tight, you will now find that you start having corns there. So that's evident. So you don't want to have shoes that are too tight. You also don't want to have shoes that are too loose, so that if you have maybe a gait problem or a gait issue, it doesn't fall off your feet. And if you're transferring for those on wheels, it does not come off. And then if you're a person who is visually impaired, who needs to move around, the shoe does not come off your leg and become a stumbling block and you fall. The other tip I'm going to give with respect to shoes, for those who want to use shoes, is that you want to experiment. Even in the realm of flat shoes, there's so many variations. Sneakers, you have trainers, you have different types of shoes. I found out something about trainers and sneakers. They have a way of compressing your feet so that it doesn't swell. So if you notice that you have swollen feet and then they keep telling you, oh, your feet are swollen, your feet for too long, you may want to get shoes, sneakers that have hold up, let me get a shoe like that. Sneakers that have that front so that it helps you to, one second. So something like this. So you want to have so that this front, these are sneakers, simple sneakers that you slip in and slip out. So these really help to avoid my feet from overly swelling, because it has a way of protecting that front part to keep it down. So you may want to consider wearing shoes like this. Once again, when I was walking, I was wearing size 39. But I found out that with sitting on the chair, my legs for some reason had grown bigger, so I had to do 40, 41. The other thing about shoes is if you're wearing flats, another tip, sorry, I have shoes. Okay, so this is an example of a flat, yeah? A flat dress shoe. So this tip is usually best. This broad tip is usually best. Or however, if you're wearing a pointed tip is inside my wardrobe, I don't want to. So if you wear a shoe that has that is pointed, then we may want to make sure that you get a size slightly bigger, so that it doesn't wedge your toes in the middle. You can wear heels if you're on wheelchair. There's no rule that says you can't wear heels. You can wear slight heels, tall heels. I have a friend who sits on wheelchairs and wears high heels. So what works for you, for your chair, just make sure that your legs are balanced and comfortable and not falling off. And the final tip that I'm going to give with respect to shoes is shoes have width. So you have narrow shoes, you have wide shoes. So you want to make sure to find out if you have the wide shoe fit or the narrow shoe fit, because not just by saying, oh, I wear size this, you want to know if it's narrow or wide, because once again, if you have narrow feet and you wear wide shoes, they will have a tendency to fall off. Oh, one last tip, You want to avoid wearing shoes for too long so that your ears can be aerated. Air your shoes, because athlete feet is not a respecter of disability. If you don't air your shoes or dry your feet properly before you wear your shoes, your feet will smell. Your shoe too will smell. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Freki. So, Afion Fiordier, what kind maintenance, one or two, that you can add up what Freki said?
She has said everything. I don't want to say again. What is this?
Oh, you see? Time to do.
Okay, let me talk now. Allow me to talk. I said, let me vex like Sunday school children. Auntie me, and you call somebody and then you know, he said what I wanted to say. And I'm like, it has not finished. Say your own. So, okay, about the shoe thing. You know, while all the conversation was going on, what came into my mind, you know, like Osaki, you mentioned your problem with irregular feet size and, you know, the problem with dragging your feet. And I'm like, you know, we think we must buy shoes. For persons with disability, if your disability has caused some, you know, changes in your anatomy, then making your feet maybe one side bigger, one side longer or whatever, you may have to consider getting your shoes made so that, you know, they can factor in those issues. You tell the person, okay, I need one side to be higher. I need thicker soles for one side because this side wears out faster. And then this side can have, you know, regular, normal soles so that by the time this other side, you know, like for you, Osaki, you drag and drag. By the time the shoe is, you're ready to discard it, both of them will have the same level of, they will come down to the same level. And then another thing is that for shoes, for me, generally, whether it's fashion, dressing, or whatever it is, I always choose comfort over style. But on the rare occasion that I find both in whatever I'm looking for, better. So for persons with disability, I would say yes. You see something online, oh, it's so nice, it's this, you think, will it be the best for your particular situation? It's not something you wear shoe and 5 minutes later you're crying. I'm begging you in the name of God. You may sometimes, for some of us, you may not feel it, but you go and remove shoe and you find you have injured yourself somewhere, and those kind of injuries can be very dangerous. Something that may take a while to heal. And then think of the discomfort you will suffer and you're waiting for it to heal. For someone like me that has, I had developed pressure sores, my heel area. So I have to be extra careful with shoes. I can't wear things that are too tight, like Freki said. So when it comes to shoes, I think the best thing would be comfort over style. And then to maintain your shoes, air them out as much as possible, especially if you're not someone who goes out often, so you don't wear them that much. And if you're someone who does go out often, put them out from time to time under the sun, except for the leather shoes, so that they don't, you know, you don't want them to go bad. Don't keep them in a place that is damp or covered all the time, so that your shoes can last. And finally, ultimately, find out what works for you when it comes to shoes. You don't have to do what everybody does. If heels is what you prefer, find out how you can wear heels safely without, you know, causing harm to yourself or, you know, causing an accident or something. And if it's flats you prefer, find out what also is best for you.
Thank you very much, Afion. If Stormy C there, can you just add up your voice to that?
All right, thank you very much. For me, in addition to everything they've talked about, and this goes to my visually impaired sisters, you know, I've, you know, had conversations where some sighted volunteers or guides in gathering where we have a lot of visually impaired people say, this person did not even clean this shoe before leaving the house. And you know what happens is probably you leave your shoe somewhere, and then the next time you just want to wear it, of course you cannot see, and so you don't even know, maybe it's dusty already, or it's dirty, or it's not looking, you know, really nice. You just wear your thing and then you step out of the house. So I would say that periodically clean your shoes. I mean, if it is something you can do before you go out, But if you cannot afford to do it before you go out, maybe for some reasons or the other, which I feel will be weird, but I mean, let's just excuse that for some reasons or the other. Make sure you clean your shoes. If the shoes needs polish, please polish. It's nice to see you in fine clothes, makeup on point, jewelries on point, and then your shoe is not polished. So, and then pay attention to when your shoes begin to go bad, so that you don't go out and then it completely peels off, and then you're looking embarrassed. You have to carry your shoe in your hand. Say, it's better for those on wheelchair because they can use their foot somehow to cover it. You will not know that their shoe is bad. But yeah, as a visually impaired person, it hinders your walking. Even the person assisting you is trying to say, walk faster now. And then because you know that the sole of the feet is off, you now start trying to protect it and guide it against embarrassment. So let's try as much as possible to take care of our shoes. If you can afford a shoe rack, please get one for yourself. And I will not also subscribe to getting all this shoe rack that looks like a leather. All those those things that they used to use for banner. I've forgotten the name now, Jerry. That we buy the shoe rack. You know what that particular shoe rack does is that it has a way of tightening the cup area of your shoe. It has a way of tightening it and just making it somehow. So if you can afford to get the stainless or the wooden shoe rack, is best for your footwear. I think with that and all those itemized by Afio, particularly having to build your own shoe, I think is something we can also at the end of the day inculcate into our dressing. If you build your shoe yourself, you build it exactly to your size and comfortability. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tomisi. I know and I hope someone out there is listening and is getting an important tips on how to manage shoes with disabilities and how to go about it. I think that they are just okay and they are good. But if your peculiarity of disability will not let you wear all of that, don't just relax and do what's needful, whether it's the stockings or the sandals, whatever that will make you comfortable. I think you have to just go by it. All right. So our last words before we wrap up for shoes, heels and flats when it comes to women with disabilities. My last word we go for, I think, just be comfortable where you are. And if you have any itch or pain, don't hesitate to get another one that will suit you so that you don't start thinking about your shoes while you're going to wherever you're going to. So they are okay, it's for beauty, it's for protection. But if you're not okay with it, you can leave it.
They won't let me. All right, so for last words, I'm going to say this. There's a myth that says that associates persons with disabilities, especially those with mobility impairment, with not wearing shoes. So that's a misconception. It's a misconception. Because I remember being accused for being overly, put together as a person with disability. And I realized that this person without disability had a picture of how persons with disabilities were supposed to look. And since I was not looking like that, she was vexing. She thought I was not serious with the healing I came to do for in her church. So anyway, so to cut the long story short, that's a misconception. So you can wear shoes with a disability. Yours is just to experiment and find out what works best for you. Flat, heels, or customized. Some people cannot even wear heavy shoes. So whatever works for you. And once you find it, my person, rock it in the colors that they come with. Pink, blue, green. Enjoy yourself. Nobody should limit you and your fashion sense because of, their ways. So enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, my final remarks to my sisters out there who may not be able to wear shoes. Your feet can be what you are rocking. So make sure those feet are well pampered. Get a pedicure. Where others are buying shoes, go and make sure you get pedicure. Get those feet well treated. And then, make sure your toenails are clean and well, treated. If you want to paint them, you paint them. but make sure your feet are clean and nice, so that if for any somebody looks at you and like, why are you not wearing shoes? You're like, this is how it is, and they cannot complain. They will not come and be calling you somehow because they look at you and your feet are not. You don't look like someone from the Sahara Desert. Like Tommy Sin said, makeup on point, dress on point, jewelry on point, and then your feet just emigrated from the Sahara Desert. All the dust, all the sand there is on your feet. Biko, I'm begging you people, let us try. Everything, every part of you should be well represented. It's not about what the color you put or whatever. It is how you carry yourself and how you are able to put yourself together. For me, comfort over style. For you, whatever it is that works for you.
Okay, so I would say that comfort and style should also go hand in hand. I just to give out a few tips in my final remarks. There are some shoes that, okay, if you are corporately dressed, you wear your cover shoe or your half shoe. Yeah, usually looking like a shoe. Even if you are going to be wearing a sandal, it has to be the buckle and everything for a corporate dress. You can't be wearing a suit and then you're wearing slippers. That's not a great fashion sense. So look for what complements your dressing. So I think that comfort and style should somehow work hand in hand. In fact, the people now start looking at it, hey, yeah, it's because she cannot see. That's why her shoe is like that and her dress is like that. The society is quick to judge us and, attribute a lot of things to our disability. So the best way you can, silence your critic is to probably do what they cannot even do,
All right, thank you very much. We've said a lot when it comes to shoes and wears, when it comes for persons with disabilities, men with disabilities, his or low or flat. So for today, we are going to wrap up today's episode. But before then, I would like to call on your solicits on us to continue this program by subscribing to our YouTube channel, like our comment on Facebook, share, post as much as you can, put your comment out there. And in case if you want to participate, you can call on any of us, the co-hosts. You can call on Freki, Afyong, Tomisi, and I, and we'll tell you what to do in our next episode. So I think we've done for today, and we've talked a lot concerning shoes. So ladies in the house, I'd like you to mute your mic and say bye-bye so that we can close for today.
Bye. Enjoy your shoes.
They say we should say bye.
This is Bold TV.